what do you think about the trans movement, man? Is it losing steam finally, you think? I know some of your best videos that I loved were on trans stuff, bro.
I mean, I haven't really talked about it in a while because I just...
It is losing steam then.
I think the pride thing is probably bigger than ever.
The LGBT population of America seems to be roughly doubling every generation. Less than 1% of Americans born before 1946 identify that way. 2.6% of boomers do, 4.2% of Gen X, 10.5% of millennials, and 20.8% of Gen Z. Which means if we follow this trajectory, we will all be gay in 2054.
When you go to the White House and you see them hanging the pride flag up, that really was something I didn't like to see. I don't think that any flag should be hung as high as the American flag. As an American, as a person that's represented our country in athletics in 12 different countries, I understand the importance of being American. And when I came back home after seeing how impoverished almost every other place is, I was damn near kissing the ground while I was in the airport because there is no place like America. So, but I think it's going to go away because now we're going to move into hard times. And just like when you seen in the Ukraine, as soon as shit got real, all that shit went out the window. All this feminism, all these ideas are able to exist because we built the society industrially to the point where women can be in the workplace. You know, because like a lot of women will say, men just didn't want women to work. Well, the jobs were all dirty, laborious jobs where people work for 12 hours. I don't know very many women that want to pick up rocks for 12 hours a day. And if you get a cut, you got to just cut your arm off and throw it in a ditch because that was the circumstances that people worked for all the time until you could have air conditioning and pizza parties. Now women want to come into the workforce. So, you know, during those hard times, like before, men start to take over. All the feminism, all the BS goes out of the window. When the stuff happened in the Ukraine, all those guys that identified as women got pushed to the front line. Just like all the rest of the men. All that shit when the women was supporting them dudes and saying, yeah, you go, sis, you're a woman too. You can do whatever. They was like, okay, we're fleeing. And the men and the men that claim they're not men are going to stay here and fight this war. Yeah, so all that shit go out the window as soon as things get real. And I think we're going to move into hard times. And so, yeah, I don't think the next 10 years is for the trans movement. People are starting to wake up and realize that we're starting to compromise so many of our industries for less than 1% of the population. And there are people that have one leg and they represent less than 1% of the population. But when they go to Foot Locker, they still got to buy 2 shoes because you can't compromise the whole structure for just less than 1% of the population. It doesn't make any sense. So, yeah, people are starting to wake up to that. When you see people, people in bringing transgenders into the schools, and once it started to get to the point where it affected the kids, I think a lot of the parents are starting to wake up. I think we have a long way to go, but yeah, that's where I become an enemy.
Yeah.
Once you start affecting the kids, once you opt out of having children because of your own sexual choices, as in you want to only have same sex, whatever you do, then you're not going to then come in and indoctrinate my kids with your beliefs, because my whole point of being a parent is to put my beliefs onto my children. I want my children to be exact replications of me. I want them to be honorable. I want them to have integrity. I want them to have my ideas. And if I've built my life with those integral ideas, I want my kids to have those ideas, not your ideas. You don't get to put your ideas on my kids.
Yep.
So I think that's where a lot of parents are starting to have a lot of pushback. And we definitely need some growth in that area. But yeah, in the next 10 years, I just couldn't see it being a thing.
It might die. I think it's going to die off. I think they lost a lot of steam, man.
Yeah.
Is the woke ideology here to stay, or do you think it's you know, agree with the same with the trans stuff?
Yeah,
it's
once the hard times come, strong men are going to come back, and once strong men come back, they're going to have a hard time. The biggest problem that we have for building the strong men back is the ability to be, for men to just be watching porn, like we were talking about earlier, the things that cause it for their. The biggest thing preventing the strong men from coming back at this point is the fact that there's plastic in the ranch dressing. There's, you know, so that you got the estrogen in there, decrease in male testosterone. Niggas ain't going outside and getting vitamin D. They don't work in the field no more. Men don't want to go out and sweat. They don't want to work out. They're watching porn. They're playing video games. So men are like, they're just in a position right now where they don't have the power or the strength or the will to get up and fight. But that's going to change. You see it. Like if you go on TikTok, you see the gym culture coming back. You see more people becoming religious and getting those traditional values back. You see more people pushing against the machine that has been propagated on us because we're starting to feel the effects of it. So the 60-year, 70-year party where the orgy was happening and everybody was just doing the drugs and the free love, that's over. Hard times are coming. We got to pay all this debt back. We're going to have to do it eventually.
Yep.
And so, yeah, when that happens, you're going to get more families because people can't afford to live alone, or you're going to get people that meet their demise. But I think people are going to push back to more traditional values before they just allow their country to just burn. So
it's crazy that they said that, because like I have two friends that I went and saw earlier when I was calling you when I was headed back home, and like when I was at their house, like they're not in the red pill space, like they don't watch any of this type of stuff, or they're not on self-improvement kicks or anything. They might watch Joe Rogan or something, but they I was telling them about the testosterone stuff that I'm taking right now because it's just an all-natural supplement.
What is it?
I'm taking Greg O'Gallagher stuff.
Okay, so
his Kino Mojo.
Okay, have you ever heard of Tomcat Ali?
I've heard, yeah. It's so that's in it.
Okay,
that's
and
like one of the
what's
things
the
that's
other
in
one? Also, is some with an A?
ayahuasca?
Or no. Ayahuasca's the psychogenic.
Yeah,
I forgot what it's called.
But no,
there's another one.
I'll say A or something like that. But
Yeah.
no, there's like it's multiple things. Like, he has like 5 supplements in his Kino Mojo. But
Okay.
But yeah, I'm crazy about doing it. And as soon as I was talking to them about this stuff, they're like, dude, I want some of that right now.
Yeah.
Because they're also the type like me where they don't want to like go get shots immediately. Like they don't want to just jump to the big pharma answer. They want to like try to do the natural answer first.
Mhm.
But yeah, I think men are going to wake up, because like I said, those are the type of guys where I would never see them wanting to talk about that.
Yeah.
But they're actually like, you know what? I kind of want to do that too. Like I
Because
see what you're doing, Sergio, and I kind of want to do that too.
Yeah, because that stuff affects everything. It affects your productivity. It affects your libido. It affects your willingness to go out and fight. It affects your level of being aggressive. And when you're a man and you have your morals and your discipline in place, being aggressive isn't a bad thing.
Yep.
Being aggressive allows you to protect the woman that you love.
Yep.
Being aggressive allows you to protect your family. Being aggressive allows you to negotiate with your boss and get a raise because you have people that depend on you. So I think that with a lot of guys now starting to wake up with that kind of stuff, like getting their testosterone levels back up, paying attention to how far it's going down.
You know there's an epidemic of low testosterone in young males.
Crazy. I was reading the stats the other day. What is it?
It's because we're poisoning them.
Is that why?
That's why.
What is the headline stat there regarding testosterone in men? It's decreasing, isn't it, year over year?
Year over year, and more than half have either low normal or low levels. I've never seen anything like it. I've been measuring testosterone levels in my patients forever, and we're poisoning them.
I got mine checked, and I recommend any man to get theirs checked because, like I said, they're putting plastic in the ranch dressing, bro. It got all kinds of estrogen in it. It's turning you into literally a bitch. So it's important that you go out there and do your research on yourself and how you can better yourself. And testosterone levels, vitamin D. Vitamin D is the only vitamin that your body produces on its own. You have a bunch of vitamins in your body. Vitamin D is the only one that it produces on its own.
But pretty much everybody's deficient in vitamin D. I mean, we're inside all the time.
Yeah.
We don't get it enough from foods. And pretty much unanimously, everybody that starts taking 5,000 to 10,000 IU of vitamin D per day, they get a little bit leaner. They get a little bit stronger.
It is super important for your testosterone levels. I'm not a doctor, so I'm not going to go any further with that. But yeah,
go to a doctor, guys. It cost me $25 to go get mine tested. Like it was nothing.
Exactly.
$25.
Let's
The worst part of it was her bugging me the whole time to start getting the shots as soon as I did it.
two large pizzas, you fat piece of shit.
It's
two large pizzas, and you can actually know what kind of a man you are. So go and do that, bro. And then if your levels come back low, you know what you got to work on. It's that simple. And there are solutions for working on those things.
Tons of solutions.
Yeah, you just got to be willing to do it. You can't.
A lot of it's all natural ones, like sunlight in your eyes,
Sleep.
work out your legs, sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's some of them are very basic, and it's just all natural things.
Yeah, things that we did 100 years ago that we didn't need to. When you're working on building a building and you're carrying steel plates, it's easy to get sunlight and get a good workout in. But now when you just sitting at an office,
working at computers,
sitting at an office eating fast food,
and chairs are horrible for us too. Like
sitting,
it's depending on how you're slouched or how you're sitting.
Yeah, humans were never supposed to sit this way. Our normal rest position is the Asian squat.
Yeah,
and so we've been sitting this way for so long as Americans. Most Americans can't even do the Asian squat anymore.
Yeah.
So if you go to more impoverished countries like Africa, or I'm sorry, obviously that's a continent.
India does
if
it.
you go to countries, India, like places where everybody ain't just sitting in chairs all day, you'll see a lot of people doing what's called the Asian squat because, that's the natural human rested position.
That's so crazy.